So over the last few months, I've been getting myself into some videography, and it's something that really interests me. So up till then, most of my editing was done on my old ROG L552 laptop, which I got back in 2015 or 2016. I don't quite remember, but I remember having a really hard time with it when it comes to heavy sustained workloads. So let's just say it hasn't been the best of experience. And towards the end of 2020, I felt like I really needed a change. That's when I decided to build my very own custom PC. So I started vigorously studying about different parts. I spent nights after nights after nights doing extensive research, and it took me a while to finally decide which parts I was going to get. So after finalizing it, it took even more time for them to finally arrive because we are all in this COVID situation. But first came my monitor. For my monitor, I went with a 24-inch Asus Tough Gaming IPS monitor. It's definitely a solid choice. Then came the rest of my parts. Today is the day that I put everything together.
All the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again.
Okay, so for this part of the video, I'm going to be going through all of the parts that I selected and why I selected them. So for the processor, I decided to go with the Ryzen 7 3700X, an 8-core 16-thread processor. I got this for a pretty good deal about 2 weeks ago, and I feel like this chip will be enough to last me for the next 2 to 3 years without any problem. I know I could have gone for the newer gen Ryzen, the 5600X, the one with better single core performance, but I felt that this chip is great for its price point. It's going to last me for at least another 2 to 3 years. If I decide to go with the Ryzen 5 5600X, that's going to last me for about 2 to 3 years as well, since it's a 6-core chip. I don't think 2 to 3 years down the road people will be using a 6-core chip unless they're going to be using that chip solely for gaming. Now for RAM, I decided to go with 2 sticks of 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM by Corsair Vengeance. Both of these are 3200 MHz. I felt that no matter what, I'm going to go with 32 gigs over 16 gigs because of future-proofing purposes. I think that this is good to last me for about a few years as well, and I have more room to upgrade down the road since I have 4 DIMM slots. For the SSD, I decided to choose the Western Digital Black SSD. I went with 500 gigs. This is where I'll be installing my operating system on. For the GPU, I went with the RTX 2060. Since I'm only going to be using a 1080p monitor, I don't think that there's need to go any higher. So for my case, I decided to go with the NZXT H510. When it comes to case, I'm looking for something extremely sleek, something extremely minimal as well, and I know all of my parts will look great inside this regardless of whether there's RGB or not. Right, it comes with very clean tempered glass. So for the motherboard, I decided to go with the B550 Gaming Edge Wi-Fi by MSI. I think that this is a great board, especially for its price point. It comes with PCIe Gen 4 slot as well. I was contemplating whether or not to go with the B450 board, but I decided that for future upgrades, I think that the B550 board would be better for future proofing. And for my power supply, I decided to go with 650 watts semi-modular power supply by Corsair. I got this for a great price as well. I think that this will give me a lot of headroom if I'm looking for upgrades down the road. So I'm going to be assembling all of these pieces together. Hopefully everything goes well. Right, this is my first time actually building a PC, and I hope I get everything right. Okay, so this is my current setup before I built my PC. And yeah, we're gonna get started.
Till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes.
Okay, so I just realized that we made a slight mistake. I'm not supposed to take these brackets off, so I'm going to have to screw them back in. Yeah. Oh, that was hard, mate. Okay. So okay. Okay, so what basically happened was that I fucked up the entire installation process of the CPU cooler. I thought I had to unscrew these brackets and rescrew them, but apparently that was not the case. You just had to clip them on. But now hopefully we've got everything sorted out. I think it's ready to be placed into the case. So at this point I was basically just referring to YouTube videos while building at the same time. Not the most time efficient thing in the world, but yeah. Okay, so after what seems to be like a decade, I finally managed to put everything together. So this is what it looks like. There's obviously still a lot of cable management that needs to be done. But first we're going to test to see if everything boots up properly. I'm currently downloading Windows 10 into a USB flash drive, and then we'll see if everything starts. So let's see. Alright, so everything seems to be working perfectly. We just got Windows installed. So now we're going to be downloading some drivers. So installation is successful. Alright, so after what seems to be like a long time, I finally managed to complete the entire project. This is what it finally looks like. It's not too bad. I have to say it exceeded all my expectations. This entire build has been really fun. And to all those out there who is interested in building their own PC, who's new to the world of building PCs, well, all I have to say is it's an incredibly fun experience that everyone should try out. It's basically the adult version of Lego, and yeah.